Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Now another short video with Vivek Ramaswamy smacking Nikki Haley, which is for me is a non-value. She's a tool, and the tool is not our tool; is their tool. And Vivek Ramaswamy, with his intelligence and his balls, is gonna smack her. Now what? He's gonna claim that she's a corrupt person in her face. At the debates, at a weasel question asked by Megyn Kelly. Megyn Kelly made two mistakes for me. I never had anything with or against her, but she made two mistakes. One, she attacked one time Newt Gingrich when he said that all you got, Megyn, is sex in your head. That was one. And the other one, when she asked that nasty question of President Trump at the first debate. Remember, you called women pigs, you called women this. I'm paraphrasing what she asked. The first question that he was asking that debate. So those were two nasty blows. And one towards, well, you should watch that one with Newt Gingrich, actually. And then they end up like... And then the other one, as I said, was with Trump. So for me, those two were two really... Now, anyway, my personal thing. Now, here, she's going to ask Vivek Ramaswamy. Somehow, she's at a debate. I don't understand how these guys end up over there. But anyway, I'm talking about the moderators, so-called. So they're going to ask a question. She's going to ask a question. And pay attention again. She will say, some say, some... Okay, how many? Emil, some say that you're a bad person. How many? Who exactly? Okay, how many? 3 people out of what? 330 million? I don't care about those 3 people, unless those people are very important in my life. That's why. Who are they? How many? Let me know so I can assess if I care, or if I should care, or if I should not care. Because if you care about anything that someone says about you, you will not do anything with your life. Nothing. That's why you have to, look, this is important, this is not important. So let's go to this little video. It comes from the debate, the third garbage GOP debate. Why? These things, but are helpful because we can see through them. Why we have Ramaswamy. Ramaswamy doesn't play by the rules. He's not one of them. So that means he's going to expose them, the whole marsh, as I call it, not the swamp, the marsh. Because they call it swamp, oh my God. All right, so he's going to expose them with his questions. But people don't want to see it. Don't want to see it. Here it is.
Mr. Ramaswamy, for months you campaigned as a unifier. Then you stood up at the first debate and attacked all of your competitors as bought and paid for. The second debate, you changed your tune, saying these are good people on this stage, admitting you can come across as a bit of a know-it-all and rejecting the practice of personal insults. By debate number 3, you called Nikki Haley corrupt, accused Ron DeSantis of wearing high heels, and told Ambassador Haley she should keep a closer eye.
Look at his smile. He's happy about it. Oh, man. Unapologetic.
Her daughter. Can you see how this has led some to conclude you are not, in fact,
some to conclude? Who are those? You?
A unifier, and to question your authenticity?
Megyn, I think there's a time and place for everything. We need somebody in the White House who absolutely is going to be a fighter when it counts. And I did say that there were some good people on that stage in that third debate. Doug Burgum was on that stage at that time. And I'll say that jokingly. Ron DeSantis is a good person, too. I want to go back, though, to Nikki Haley's comment from earlier that she is somehow not responding to the will of these donors. Nikki, you were bankrupt when you left the UN. After you left the UN, you became a military contractor. You actually started joining service on the board of Boeing, whose back you scratched for a very long time, and then gave foreign multinational speeches like Hillary Clinton is. And now you're a multimillionaire. That math does not add up. It adds up to the fact that you are corrupt. And when I said they were bought and paid for, I meant the Republican establishment, not the Democratic establishment. Now you have Reid Hoffman, the person who's effectively George Soros Jr., funding lawsuits across this country against Donald Trump to keep him off the ballot, funding left-wing causes. We discovered this week that he is one of Nikki Haley's largest supporters.
I haven't seen diversity in the panel. There were 3 women out of 3. I didn't see any diversity over there. Did you? Nobody questions that.
The king of the woke industrial complex, the ESG movement, the CEO of BlackRock, the most powerful company in the world, now supporting Nikki Haley. And to say that doesn't affect her is false, because it's after that meeting later that day that she says that every American needs to be doxxed by having their ID, their government-issued ID, tied to what they say on the internet. So I think that this is far more corrupt than I even imagined when I entered politics. But I will say this. It is going to take a leader from the outside, with fresh legs, from the next generation to unite this country. Not the broken politicians who are puppets of the puppet masters, but the actual people in this country. Thomas Jefferson was 33 when he wrote the Declaration of Independence. I think it's going to take somebody whose best days in life are still ahead to see a country whose best days are ahead of itself. And I think I can reach that next generation better than anybody else in this race.
Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful. So Thomas Jefferson, 33. Now think where you were at 33. Could you write that? Could I write that? That tells us how intellectual they were then. And remember, just look at Thomas Jefferson's bio and his history and whatever he did in his life. He was not a genius, right? He was not a genius. We have geniuses here that are incapable of writing a letter to the post office telling them to deliver the mail in a different to a different address, whatever. So did you hear that? She's gonna respond, Nikki Haley, to this one. I'm not gonna play that one. She's gonna respond that she's not gonna deny that she's a millionaire right now. She's not gonna deny that she said I was not bankrupt. But no, bankrupt. This guy again brings evidence over there. And remember, if he would lie here, do you think that he would not be sued? I mean, that's in front of everybody, destroying my character with no evidence. But she said, I'm proud that I work for Boeing and they build beautiful civilian aircraft. Yeah, that's a contractor, my friends. Don't. And then he talks about Soros. Oy vey, don't talk about that guy, right? This is how you're supposed to refer to George Soros. He's a philanthropist, Hungarian-born. I have to put my words right. Hungarian-born hedge funds philanthropist. Did I miss anything? Billionaire. That's all. These are the words you must use. She's behind me now. She's sleeping. Oh, game boy. What is? He's playing and he put his little claws, even though he's got most of them covered. Anyway, here is my my video with Ramaswamy again, smacking Nikki Haley, exposing her for what she is, a fraud in the name of and for doing the job for those guys over there, not for us. In that stage, you got Christie, who's just creating, yelling at everybody and calling everybody bad people, and Nikki Haley, a goddess. Nikki Haley, obviously, she's the military-industrial complexes right there. And then you got DeSantis, who, I have to say it, I used to like DeSantis a lot. But when you put DeSantis and Vivek Ramaswamy, really, you should not have put these guys on the same stage. I like, as I said, DeSantis, but let's put it this way. If you want to see how intellectually honest a person is, ask the person about the conflict in the Middle East. And I put it mildly and nicely and like a weasel. Ask them about the conflict, or ask them about the Russia and Putin. And you're going to see how much that person knows and on whose side he or she is going to place himself or herself, maybe illogically. And then you see, that's why for me, DeSantis, he came with some statements regarding the Middle East problem. And for me, it was DeSantis. No. But I heard Ramaswamy regarding that. And I was like, look at this guy. Look at this guy. You don't have to be on anybody's side, but you have to bring evidence from both sides, all sides. And you say, yeah, these guys did this guy did this. But in this situation, they say, this guy didn't do anything ever. And everything that happened is because everybody else is bad. Now, you know that's impossible. You know, it's like you're the only person in town, a good person in town is you, along the entire history of the town. And everybody had something against you. Have you met this kind of person? Supposedly it was one, and his name was Jesus Christ. Well, I don't think that qualifies here, right? So again, you want to see someone's intellectual honesty? Ask that person about that. Or, as he mentioned here, Soros, dare to do that. And then he talked about another one and so on. These guys are the most powerful people on this planet, and they promote their horses. You know, it's like a Kentucky Derby. They have each billionaire or each interest has its own horse. And I have to go now to, I don't think I'm going to go, but I was talking about football and Ronaldo. And then you got Benzema playing in Saudi Arabia, in those areas, if you know what I mean. And the same, they like their horses. They like their Arabian horses, my favorite horse. So the same, they like their players. Anyway, the same here with these guys. They have their little horses in the game, like Nikki Haley is this interest, this billionaire's horse. Another one is someone else's billionaire's horse. And when they win, they talk with one another and they taunt one another. My horse won. I beat you. You owe me $1. Remember that 1980s movie with, I think it was 80s, with Eddie Murphy? When Eddie Murphy and those two investors, old people, that Eddie Murphy, they get this guy, the young guy out, I can't remember his name, whatever, get him out of the business, and they get Eddie Murphy, a loser, you know, they get him and he wakes up in the other guy's place, switch identity, change identity, and the other guy remains, takes Eddie Murphy's life, and Eddie Murphy takes this guy's life. And these two guys are doing it just to teach the other guy a lesson. And then anyway, at the end, they did all this, they ruined the other guy's life and played with Eddie Murphy for $1. That was the bet between the two old people, you know, with the money and all that interest. $1. The same are these guys. They play, they laugh, you know, one with my boy won, my girl won, I beat you, and here is your dollar. And they play with nations. But hey, Putin and Xi Jinping are not on their side, and they don't like that one. They can't control them. And many others, like for instance Modi, Dr. Jai Shankar, you got Lula to a certain extent, who's a loose cannon for that. Now Milei is America's bitch. Look at who's surrounding him, and anyway, who he appointed as foreign minister and prime minister and ambassador to the United States of America, and who's the American ambassador to is going to be appointed to Argentina. Look at it. I made a video about that 3 or 4 days ago. And another independent is Iran, Cuba, and maybe North Korea. All these guys that these guys don't like and they're bad, they're independent. Everybody else follows orders. That tells you what? You're not independent. And Israel obviously is independent, is by far is the most independent, let's put it this way. All right, my friend, thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.